Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now in today's video, I want to put together a really quick guide on where to buy some of the coolest hunter cloaks. Now I appreciate to a lot of you this may seem like a really obvious thing. However, that being said, a lot of the time in a lot of my videos, as you may well know, I tend to start them off by sort of talking to you guys and then spinning around my character, and a lot of you guys have said, where do you get these different cloaks from? It's happened quite a few different times when I'm wearing different cloaks, so I figured the easiest way to answer that question, instead of replying to all the different comments in the videos, would be to make a video to do just that. Now there are a few different cloaks, and some of them may be a little bit harder to get now, given that the stock has changed for some of the vendors, but that being said, I'm going to run through some of the best ones. First up, the one that I'm wearing right now, as you can see here, this is the most recent cloak that I've got. This is the one that I've been wearing in quite a lot of my videos, and a lot of you guys have been asking where this came from. This is called All My Victims Cloak, and the description reads, made from the torn cloaks of other hunters, other lesser hunters. So, this does look really, really cool, especially if you've got the glow shader on. It has that really, really nice crazy glow on it, which looks really awesome, but if I take off my shader, then you can see what it looks like by default. Like so, even like that, it does still look pretty cool. So, where do you buy it from? Well, the simple answer is right in front of you, Hld Shaxx. See, a lot of people seem to overlook this. I don't think a lot of people visit the Crucible Handler, especially given that when you get to endgame, you mainly want to have your raid gear. In fact, everyone wants their raid gear, and once you get raid gear, you have no real reason to go to these guys. And for that reason alone, people don't often check things, especially not when some of these things are expensive and they take your marks. Then why are you going to want to waste your marks on a cape? That being said, it always seems to be that the second cape that the Crucible Handler sells is always the best one. See, if you look here, this is the one I was talking about. This is the All My Victims Cloak. So you can get this in an engram. But if you go down here, this will set you back 75 Crucible marks. So as I said, that's why a lot of people don't buy them, simply because if you spend your time building these marks up, then most of the time you're either going to want to spend them on weapons or you're going to want to spend them on materials. So you'll be forgiven for never even knowing this was here. But if you do want the cloak that I'm wearing right now, then this is where you can get it. Also, while I'm here, if I switch over to my AOS Cryptid Cloak, this is another cloak that created quite a bit of attention, and a lot of you guys were asking where this came from. This is a really cool cloak. If you look at it up here, it's probably one of my favourite ones. It's got this kind of metal bit around the neck, plus it's got this thin strip that hangs all the way down the back, and again looks really, really cool with the glow shader. This, the reason I'm still standing here, is also because this also came from Hld Shaxx. Before the Dark Below came out, before they refreshed his stock, this used to be the second cloak. So you can see now why I said, always pay attention to his second cloak. The Vanguard guy, he always tends to sell the same sort of things, and also the very first cloak with the Crucible Handler tends to be a different coloured version of the Vanguard one. However, the second one is always the coolest. So back before the Dark Below came out, if you wanted to get this cloak, then this is where you had to go. However, that being said, a lot of you guys might be thinking, oh, that's really annoying, this stock is no longer here, how am I going to get this? Interesting fact, I didn't actually buy this one. I got this from a legendary engram. So the fact that I got mine from an engram means that it could well be, and most likely still is, in the rotation. Either way, when the next DLC comes out, you know what you want to do. If you want to find the really cool cloak, then the best thing you're going to want to do is go and check Hld Shaxx. His second cloak is always going to be cool. And you can bet when the House of Wolves comes out, that's the first one I'm going to be buying. Then next up you have the one that I've got on my back right now. This is a pretty cool looking cloak. In fact, it's the only cool one that you can get from Eris. The other cloak looks really, really weird because it's got a funny head to it. But this one here is pretty damn cool. This is the second cloak you can buy from Eris. The only one bad thing about this one is it doesn't seem to care about the colour shade you're wearing, so as you can see I've got the glow shader on, but this still remains red. So that could be a little bit annoying for some people, but either way it's got this really kind of cool split effect to it, so it does look pretty damn cool, but it also reminds me of one more cloak that I want to show you guys. And that is this one, the Hld Starweaver cloak. This is also another cloak that you can no longer buy from the vendors. This used to be the second cloak you could buy it from the Vanguard vendor instead of the Crucible one. The Vanguard guy, he sold this, and this does look really awesome. If I go and bring up my character here, spin around, ignore the hood, it doesn't actually look that great, but the back of it, it's got this kind of cool crisscross effect, hangs down in two pieces. It does join in the middle, which looks a bit funky, but either way, this is a really cool looking cloak, and this is also another one of the ones from the original sales. So again, while you can't buy this, I also got this from an engram. I seem to be pretty lucky with my capes. I don't actually buy that many of them. I just get given them randomly from engrams as opposed to weapons and things like that. But that being said, this also came from an engram, so the fact that you can no longer buy it does still indicate that you could well get this if RNG is in your favour. So, with that being said, that brings me nicely to the end of this video. It was only going to be a really quick one, but as I said, a lot of you guys have been asking where I got some of these cloaks from, so hopefully this answers that question. If you did find it helpful, if you did find it useful, then be sure to leave a like and hit that thumbs up button, and if you're not already part of the Arekkz Gaming Nation, then be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single video. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.